Recruit School 19, present. If I could ask everyone to please stand for the presentation of the colors. Ask everyone to please join. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I ask everyone to please take a moment of silence for our fallen brothers and sisters, and also let's please remember tonight our brothers and sisters in Miami, Florida, as they work through a terrible tragedy down there. Ready? Oh. Would everyone please be seated? Chief Eggleston, Deputy Chiefs Puckett, Childress, O'Prandy, Recruit School instructors, family, friends, and members of Albemarle County Recruit School 19. Welcome. Welcome to our graduation and pinning ceremony as you become new firefighters and EMTs with Albemarle County Fire Rescue. My name is Steve Elliott, and I am the Battalion Chief in charge of training for Albemarle County Fire Rescue. I will also tell you I just became the Chief of Training this year, and this is my recruit school. Very proud of them. This is a night of joy and celebration. A night of celebrating the accomplishments of the new members of our ACFR family. And I say new members because they actually are not. They are taking the next step in their journey. They became members on January 11th, 2011. And actually before that, they worked very hard to get to that point. This is the first large gathering that Albemarle County has allowed since COVID-19 started, or at least the restrictions did, in March of 2020. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for Still social distancing. We have to wear the mask. That was part of the reason that we were allowed to hold this inside. So I appreciate you all putting up with the mask for tonight. It was suggested that we hold the graduation outside. And what is it? It's June in Virginia. And what is the weather normally in June in Virginia at this time? 95 degrees, 100% humidity, and thunderstorms every afternoon. So we worked to have the graduation inside. And guess what? It's 75 degrees, no humidity, and no thunderstorms. Best laid plans, right? But we're here and we're gathered together. Like I said, on January 11th, the members of Recruit School 19 started their journey with ACFR. Most of them started the journey with no fire rescue experience. Recruit School 19 is comprised of members that are former military personnel, law enforcement, trade persons, educators, and scholars, to name a few of the backgrounds. The academy started in the middle of the pandemic that was testing us all. I think all of our recruits would agree that the Recruit School tested them in many ways they never experienced. At the end, the recruits passed tests to become emergency medical technicians, firefighters, entry-level hazardous materials technicians, car seat technicians, introductory technical rescue technicians, and vehicle rescue technicians. I want to add that Recruit School 19 passed all the attempts for these on the first attempt, and were certified. I think that's the first time we've ever had that happen. Amazing. It speaks to the level of commitment and the dedication of Recruit School 19. It also speaks to our outstanding instructional staff, led by the ACFR Training Division instructors. I'd like to recognize those instructors now. The commanding officer of Recruit School 19, Captain Dan Spearin, is not with us tonight. He's out on vacation, what he calls a vacation. He is a mega marathon runner, and he's somewhere out west running 100 miles in the desert and the mountains. And yeah, everybody's shaking their head. I would not join him either. I wish him well. Okay, I think our recruits got to learn how Captain Spearin liked to run too. Everybody's, yeah, likes to run. So he's not with us tonight, but he sends his regards, of course. I'd like the instructors to rise as I call their name. Instructor Robert Green. Instructor Sean Ryan. Somewhere here, Captain Edward Fisher. He's in the back. Instructor Tate McCracken back there, who's our logistics guru. And Instructor Jacob Tackett here. Yeah. Thank you, gentlemen, for an outstanding job. You may be seated. I'd also like to thank the dozens, and believe me, it took dozens of people to put this recruit school on, of instructors that came in from within and outside the county to participate in this school. Along with the certifications that were achieved in this school, I think the greatest achievement, and I've never quite seen anything like it, the way this school bonded together. This group did not know each other, yet they are one of the closest groups I've ever observed after 6 months of being together. That bond will be with all of you for the rest of your careers, and I hope that it is a lifelong bond. It is something very valuable. Now, I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker. Read a little bit about him. I've known him for a while. It's my boss, or my boss's boss. Chief Dan Eggleston began his fire service career in 1978 and is currently career fire rescue chief with Albemarle County Department of Fire Rescue. Chief Eggleston has an associate's degree in engineering, a bachelor's degree in business, and a master's degree in emergency management from the University of Richmond. He's a graduate of the National Fire Academy Executive Fire Officer Program and received Chief Fire Officer designation, Chief Medical Officer designation, and commission from the Commission on Fire Accreditation. Okay, I got to stop, catch my breath there a little bit, Chief. All right. Chief Eggleston is past president and chairman of the board of the International Association of Fire Chiefs and currently serves as a board member with the National Association of Counties. He has published many articles and research papers related to fire and EMS administration, emergency management, and has lectured and consulted throughout the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chief Dan Eggleston.
Okay. Well, welcome, everyone. I'm going to take this off and still meet our intent here tonight, because if you want to understand me at all, I've got to take my mask off. I will say it's odd for me to be on this side of the podium. Usually when I'm in this room, I'm addressing the Board of Supervisors asking for money. So this is certainly different this time. And thanks for the laugh back there, by the way. Appreciate that. Well, welcome, first of all. Isn't it nice to start to open things back up? Chief Elliott's right. The first time we've had a gathering in this building, in this room, last time I was here when we went into emergency declaration with the Board of Supervisors. So it's so nice, but it's really nice to see, obviously, the recruits here as well as the family and friends to support them. I think it's great, and I think this is probably one of the best times to have. Actually, in my tenure here is when we do recruit graduation. I want to take a moment and thank our training staff. It's such a wonderful team, and the instructors that were granted the privilege to lead our recruit class were handpicked. And I can't think of a better team of people to help people through this process, and I just want to thank you all. I have utmost respect for you all, and wouldn't have it any other way. And the entire division just continues to shine. So thank you very much. Let me give them a big round of applause, please. So at this point in the program, I'm supposed to impart some wisdom here, knowing full well that a lot of you are sitting in the audience thinking, are we going to have cake after this thing? Did I unplug the iron before we left? Did we feed the dog and let him out? Those kind of things. I understand that. So I pledge to be short and hopefully pass along some bits of nuggets here as we continue to have the ceremony. Well, tonight we're celebrating the graduation of people who have made the decision to dedicate their lives to the fire service. And they have done this out of conviction that they wish to serve the community. Today's graduates have passed a rigorous series of tests that have pushed them to the limit in terms of their aptitude and ability. Recruits, your families and friends are here to celebrate with you. They know just how hard you had to work to reach this day and what an honored place you will hold in the community. That's probably one of the most important roles. In really a selfish society in today that we live in, unfortunately, it's good to know that there's still those who are selfless. So thank you. So recruits, you'll soon be part of an ACFR operations team, working alongside tenured and professionals out there providing life-saving services, and that's quite an honor. The skills that you learned in recruit school will help you be a valued and contributing member of this department. And while the technical skills of this job are important to master and maintain, embracing the ACFR values of culture, professionalism, and ethics are my basic expectation of you as a professional firefighter in this department. So let's start with culture, really the foundation of any successful organization. Culture, simply put, is a summation of our values, beliefs, behaviors, and attitudes. We expect every member of this department to be intentional to maintain a culture that is positive, leaning into and benefiting from conflicting thoughts and ideas. We embrace diversity, not because we're told to do, but because we understand that diversity makes us a stronger, more effective, and a more successful team in everything that we do. Trust is the individual and the team is paramount in this job, and I can't overstate that. That is why creating a sense of belonging is key to establishing and maintaining a cohesive, high-performing team. We engage in productive dialogue with respect and a sense of curiosity, all in an effort to learn and grow as individuals and as a team. Being in the fire service offers you the opportunity to work alongside some great people and experience, quite frankly, things that some people never really understand what's happening. So having the respect for each other and the people we serve is vital in this job. In today's world, it seems people are more likely to draw a line in the sand and defend their position rather than assume good intentions and work towards a resolution. And I can tell you that there's no return on investment for being angry and resentful and belligerent. So in this job, there'll be days that will test your fortitude. You are likely to feel resentment for the very same people that called you to help them. So please take a moment, pause, and choose empathy over frustration. There are people in this world that are suffering and need just a hand up, not a handout. And in my long career, I've seen lives significantly change from just small acts of kindness and care. Some of the letters that I'm fortunate enough to receive from our residents, especially their gratitude for our firefighters are sometimes heart-wrenching, and they bring tears oftentimes. Surprisingly, it's the small things that they point out that really truly matter. Our residents expect competent and professional firefighters. However, it's the show of empathy and the care that people will always remember. So you will hear this term throughout your career, that professionalism matters. Okay, here's a question for you all, if you think. It's a rhetorical question, but who do you think consistently gets highest public approval ratings in government services? Is it the library? Could it be the Public Works Department, the tax collector, animal control? Well, not surprisingly, it's fire rescue, 97% consistently, if not higher, here in Albemarle, and I think that's probably consistent across the board, across the nation. Our high approval rating is not by happenstance. It's through years of work to build trust and confidence, and it's our job to foster that trust through our professional actions. Our residents expect competent, respectful, uniformed professionals that arrive rapidly to solve their problem. People willingly allow us into their most private spaces and count on us to medically treat them or beloved family members, or perhaps extinguish a fire that threatens their lives and precious belongings. I can't think of another profession that demands this level of trust. This is why we will always be in learning mode, learning new fire and EMS skills, learning about better ways to engage with the public, understanding the dynamics of our community that will help or hinder our ability to serve their residents we have all sworn to protect. Competency is certainly front and center, but image also matters. A clean, squared-away uniform you wear sends a message that you pay attention to detail and that you care enough to look the part. Likewise, how do you think an untucked shirt tail, untied boots, or faded uniform is perceived? You know, I don't have to answer that question. You probably figured that out already. Okay, so let's switch and talk a little bit about preparedness, if I could. This is another question. What's the motto of the Boy Scouts? Any scouts out there? Well, it's be prepared. And you know, we share the same motto. It's pretty simple. And that's part of our job, is need to be in a consistent state of readiness, because you never know what your next emergency may bring. That includes taking care of our equipment, ensuring that we come to work well-rested and physically fit to do our job. Time certainly matters in this job. We spend millions of dollars to shave seconds off the clock by using such things as computer-aided dispatch, station alerting, and enhanced computer routing, all in an effort to quickly arrive on scene and mitigate the emergency. So I'm sure that Captain Spearin and your instructors have used the term move with purpose during your recruit school. That's an expectation that you will all take with you to the field. And simply put, it means that when we arrive on scene, we implement the incident commander's plan with swiftness and efficiency. And I can tell you that moving with purpose was beat into me as a young firefighter, and certainly as a basic expectation of everyone in this fire department. Over the years, I've seen challenging and life-threatening incidents have great outcomes from a well-functioning teams that execute that plan in a rapid manner. It's not that hard when it really comes down to it. So let's talk about ethics then, switch gears slightly. As members of the fire service, we all share responsibility to project the ethical traits of integrity, compassion, loyalty, and honesty in all that we do, all the time. When you become a firefighter in this department, your actions on and off duty becomes a reflection of the department. That is why we must continue to create and sustain a culture that encourages integrity, open communications, trust, and ethical behavior. In reality, we circle back to trust in each other, to have each other's back, maintain our competency, and follow through on your word. Ethics also relates to our relationship with our residents. They have enormous trust in us, and we want to foster and care for that fragile but valued relationship. As I wrap things up, I want to take a moment and recognize a friend and a colleague that will be retiring at the end of this year, Battalion Chief Steve Elliott. Chief Elliott has all the qualities that I just covered, and plus some. He has helped advance this department in so many ways, it's difficult for me to articulate. Chief Elliott is bringing a long career to a close with the best gift anyone in this business can ask for. That is ultimate respect from his peers, his coworkers, and leaders in the fire service. I've had the distinct privilege to work alongside Chief Elliott on a number of complex incidents, and I've always been amazed with his skill and his attitude and perseverance. Steve is a firefighter's chief. There's no doubt about that. He's been there and done that kind of guy. And with his modest attitude and willingness to always help others, he made a really huge impact. So I'm sure Steve is grateful for his long, successful career. I'm also sure that if asked, he is most proud of his family. Steve enjoys spending time with his children and his grandchildren, and of course, his lovely wife, Wanda. But Steve also understands the key to successful marriage, knowing your role. He said while he enjoys his high chief officer rank at ACFR, he is second in command in the Elliott household. So please join me in a round of applause for Chief Elliott. So recruits, back to you. So today it's fair to say that we're immensely proud of what you have achieved. I had the honor to come down and watch you through your practicals on several of occasions, and I was quite frankly blown away. You were outpacing, in fact, some of our incumbents in the very same day, and you moved with purpose, so you got major points with me right off the bat. But you know that you'll go on to make an invaluable contribution into society in the deep need of help and courage in today's world. Society can rest safer and easier knowing the responsibility you have assumed, and it's a big responsibility. I know you will meet the challenges, overcome the problems, and prove yourself worthy of their trust. So God bless you all in the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, I would like to ask Instructor Robert Green to come forward and give the remarks from the instructors of Recruit School 19. Instructor Green.
Good afternoon. Before I start, I'd like to acknowledge some of the key people that were paramount to the success of this recruit school. This one individual has served not only as a mentor to myself, Instructor Sean Ryan, multitude of people within this department. Without his mentorship and his guidance, I could assure you their success throughout the EMS phase wouldn't be possible. Captain Ed Fisher is due to retire this year. We're going to miss him sorely. Captain Fisher, if you stand up. Old man. Sir, thank you for your service. And one last group, families of our members of Recruit School 19. We understand these past 6 months have not only been tough for them, but also on you. We want to thank you all for allowing yourselves to share your loved ones with us for those late nights and early mornings. All that family time, we're really grateful for allowing us to give that to us. So thank you. Go ahead and apologize. I'm not the best public orator. However, 19, I think I could blow through this one last time for you guys before we send you off. On January 11th of this year, 15 individuals reported to training division at 0800. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, a lot of looks of not knowing what they got themselves into, with instructor Sean Ryan standing outside with the paper and a cup of coffee, instructor Tackett just staring at them. Throughout this phase, and throughout the school, they were told, show us why you were hired. Administration staff told us these were the best of the applicant pool. And because of their grit and determination, we're here today to celebrate their success. Throughout this program, these recruits have learned the basics of emergency medical care, anything ranging from chest pains, difficulty breathing, basic trauma, advanced trauma. And if you could really think about it, some off-the-wall scenario, if we didn't train on a scenario, I guarantee you my recruits could figure it out. After long EMS phase of constant studying, homework, quizzes, long nights, staying after, asking question after question before we even had our morning coffee, Filippelli, we moved on to fire phase, where we told them it's going to get easier. You don't have to work as hard. They did, unfortunately. Well, and fortunately. They learned the basics of entering structures, putting water on fire, laddering structures, searching buildings. After that, they went on to learn hazmat, learn about incident material management, forestry, where they learned quite a bit about forestry rakes, how to drive emergency vehicles. I can assure you there are plenty of cones that were damaged in that course. Kind of scary, but nonetheless, they passed all successfully. Onward, they learned about car seat installation. It's one of the most important programs our department provides, showing them how to properly install car seats for families that don't quite understand how they work, and then education to protect the children of our community. It all ended with the culmination of what we call Survival Day, one of the toughest days we provide in Albemarle County. And I can tell you, they blew it out of the water. Not one person quit. So the life of an Albemarle County recruit is very regimented from every minute. Every morning we start with a uniform inspection. Our instructor Ryan and myself look for every little thing that we could find wrong with them to give them an opportunity to better themselves. Whether it's a pen unclicked, a piece of lint on their collar, or a piece of lint I put on them because I couldn't find anything wrong for the day. I promise you it does serve a purpose. After which, they provided a morning report, any injuries, because we want to ensure their health throughout this whole program, as well as reporting any line of duty deaths within the country, within the fire service, so we could continue to learn from the past. After the morning report, we went inside the classroom, whatever phase it was. We took a morning quiz, went over the new skills for the day, signed homework, studied, PT'd every single day, wash, rinse, repeat for 6 months. Throughout the 6 months, there were definitely difficult days. But every single difficult day they had a mantra, something that rallied them, build them up to get through whatever tough situation. And Redmond, I'm gonna need your help on this one. So go on and give it the first one.
1-9, never quit. 19, here we go.
They repeated this saying over and over and over again, where it got to the point where Instructor Ryan and I had headaches. But through this mantra and this rally cry, they pushed through every tough situation that they faced, because they understood what was to come in their career heavily outweighed whatever pain and discomfort they were feeling at that moment. They knew the community's expectation of us to give it our all, in conjunction with the instructors constantly asking them to improve themselves. And they're saying at the root of it was what a firefighter trait a firefighter holds: teamwork and refusal to quit. I'm confident we're leaving the community in capable hands with U19. You showed it time and time again through raw grit and determination. It has been a privilege to watch you grow and develop and understand your true potential and push through what you didn't even think was possible at the beginning of this program. Keep up the hard work. We are all looking forward to your future with our department and seeing you work in the field. 1-9, in it together. 19, never quit.
Thank you, Instructor Green. Well, Recruit School 19, it's about that time, isn't it? Chief Eggleston, Deputy Chief Childress, Deputy Chief O'Prandy, and Deputy Chief Puckett. If you could come up here, I will get your mask there, Chief. All right, I'll get in trouble. All right. Chief Childress is going to read your names, and the chief and assisted by the deputy chiefs will pin you all. So Chief Childress.
So badge pinning ceremonies have historically been a fire service ritual, a rite of passage into a profession committed to a level of service and sacrifice above and beyond that of other disciplines. The badge of a firefighter or emergency medical technician embodies a spirit of honor, bravery, and service. Our badge is a symbol of borderless kinship and is worn with immense pride. Recruits, please stand for the pinning ceremony.
Family members, if you'd like to approach when your recruit is being.
Stuart Dalton. Jordan Devine. Joshua Oyhus. William Filippelli. Michael Carr. Joshua King. David Marshall. Colin Mary. Maxwell Morgan. You're a little bit out of order, so Andre Miles Redmond is next. And you know what I want to say, Andre. Wahoo wah, yeah. Eric Opoku. Happening over here. There's a lot of slapping happening over here. Okay. Caleb Shetler. Marvin Tapia. We do have one small change to the ceremony this evening. Nancy Turner, would you like to come down and pin Brett Turner? Just stab him if you have to. That's fine. We would also like to take a second to recognize a member of Recruit School 19. Started out with this, but due to an injury was not able to graduate with Recruit School 19. She will be recycled and will graduate with our next Recruit School. So Hannah Arbogast, we'd just like to take a minute to recognize your hard work, and we're excited to have you as a member of our family, and we'll see you here the next go around, okay? Okay, recruits, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. We're going to take the oath of office. Raise your right hand, please. Did I say that? Okay. I state your name.
I, Joshua Williams,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to do my duty as a firefighter for Albemarle County
to do my duty as a firefighter for Albemarle County
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
to serve my commanding officers with respect and dignity,
serve my commanding officers with respect and dignity,
to serve the citizens and guests with compassion,
serve the citizens with compassion,
with courage and integrity,
courage, and integrity,
to uphold the laws of the United States of America,
to uphold the laws of the United States of America,
the state of Virginia,
the state of Virginia,
and the county of Albemarle. So help me,
and Albemarle.
so help me God.
So help me God.
All right. I think you guys can be seated now. I will say that I'm super proud of these guys. I oversee the division of the department that does hiring and training, and this is really the culmination and the highlight of our year. The day we called you to offer you a job and the day and today are just amazing for you, but it's also amazing for us to see you guys being able to start living this life of public service. It's really awesome. The fact that your flag is a Louis Vuitton bag does not hurt my feelings, so I'm really excited about that too. All right.
Thank you, Chief Childress. Probationary firefighters, you may be seated. Hey, no more recruits. Okay, we do have several awards that are given by instructors to each recruit school. So Instructor Green and Instructor Ryan, if you would like to come forward and present the awards for Recruit School 19. And Instructor Tackett, too. Sorry.
So physical fitness is a very important part of our career. It allows us to be able to do the things that the public asks of us. So it's something we take very seriously within our department, especially with our recruits. Oftentimes, some of them come with us with no experience working out or have no idea of nutritional values of foods and how to eat properly. So we provide guidance, show them how to work out, tell them what to eat. And I'm sure a lot of you guys could tell the difference from back in January to where they are now. Just shows how effective the program is when they buy in. Every single day, we PT them, whether it be push-ups, running, squatting, getting in the mud, snow, rain, up and down, on your bellies, on your feet. But through it all, there's two individuals we would like to acknowledge because it was difficult. We had one, through it all, left it all out there every single time, driving his team to overcome whatever pain they may have on their face. If they want to give up, he wasn't going to let them. So the first award we'd like to give to Mr. Andre Miles Redmond. Maybe a little bit heavy for you. Good job. The next recipient of the award we'd like to acknowledge was a person who bought into the program completely. The person who he was when he came to us in January to where he is now, night and day difference. We couldn't be more proud of how much his body has changed whenever he decided to avoid the adult beverages, change his diet, buy into working out every single day and being disciplined in this. Next recipient is Mr. Maxwell Morgan. I'd like to invite Instructor Sean Ryan to present the C3 Award for Recruit School 19.
Good evening. The Seat 3 Award is given to the top recruit of the class. Now with Recruit School 19, you can imagine the difficulty that we had with this. Every single one of these recruit firefighters you see here today, I would absolutely understand and be willing to risk it all beside them. Every single person in this front row, I would be graciously happy to look back and see them in that Seat 3 spot. So the Seat 3 fireman is the fireman who's going to be responsible for putting out the fire, dragging hose, using the jaws of life, providing medical care, providing technical rescue services, providing hazardous materials services. They are responsible for everything. They are the do-it-all. We got together the top recruit through academics, physical performance, as well as when we kind of look at who is going to be the one to continue to put it all out there. It is my great honor and privilege to award the C3 Award to Caleb Shetler.
Thank you, instructors. And now we do have a speaker from Recruit School 19, one of our now probationary firefighters. I'd like to ask probationary firefighter Joshua Oyhus to come forward for a few words.
It's large font. I can't read very well. Wow, what a journey. It's been a crazy 6 months, and there's been a lot of thanking happening, so I guess we'll thank everybody again. Thank you, chiefs. Thank you, everybody who was able to put this together to hire us during a pandemic and get us here to where we are. We'd also especially like to thank Instructor Tackett. special motivator for us. We're giving back that energy now. He can have it for the next class. We don't need it anymore. Thank you. All right, so I want everybody, we already kind of talked about the pandemics, but I know this can be hard. Think back last year, if you can, it's gonna be challenging. Lockdowns, lines at the grocery store, there's no toilet paper. Why wasn't there toilet paper? I don't know. But somehow, the instructor staff, the staff at ACFR, the chiefs, the county of Albemarle was able to get it together and hire us 15 shiny new recruits to start January 11th. And we're so happy they did, and we had a great time. We started out the first day, as Instructor Green alluded to, was a little shaky for us, a little scary. So we met afterwards in the parking lot when they weren't watching us. And we came together and learned about each other. And we realized we were boys and girl. We were white, Hispanic, African American, African. None of us were the same. None of us had really a whole lot in common as far as our backgrounds. But we realized, hey, everybody here is very exceptionally qualified for this job, and we're gonna crush this. We're gonna do a great job. So we agreed on a couple things. Hey, we're gonna have hard conversations up front. We're gonna talk to each other and be real. Hey, I don't know a lot about your background. You're gonna have to explain it to me so we can get along and get through this together. We agreed this is a sacred journey that we're gonna undergo together, and we're gonna bond through it. And we really valued that. So some of us today were kind of sad it's over, unfortunately. Get back to my scroll here. Number two, we weren't gonna take ourselves too seriously, obviously. That's kind of the downfall, I think, of being very successful, and we went ahead and pushed that to the side. So we broke our tribe of RS-19 up into 3 groups. We had the aggressive and always decisive dog pound, led by Mr. Miles Redmond. Yeah. We had the thoughtful Cobra Kai. That was my guys, right? I know it's lame, I know. It's cool to me. Just let it be. And we also had the Care Bears. So anyways, the last group we had was kind of an elite club. And speaking of the PT, if you really went that extra 110%, which I'm not sure, Andre, you never joined that group, unfortunately, so I'm not sure why you got that award, but it was the Vomiteers. So if you really went hard, there's a couple of members here, the plank owners of that group, so good for them. I didn't join that, but I didn't try that hard, I guess, on that. So they've alluded to kind of some of the training we had. From our side, we drank like gallons of coffee during the EMS phase. I don't think I could ever drink that much coffee again and not be ill. We drank gallons of Gatorade on the fire ground and still somehow had no water left in our bodies. And I guess that is what it is, right? Did a good job on that. We realized our instructors early on were hardcore. They had given it all to the fire service and to the community here in the communities they had served. Some of them had broken their backs, they had paralysis, they had beaten cancer, and they were a model for us. So we became hardcore too. We modeled that right back to them. And I think that was another aspect of why we were successful. We burned the midnight oil. We wrote papers. We cited sources. Anybody remember how to do that? APA, MLA? Yeah, we had to figure that out. We did that. We learned how to spell words like hemorrhage, H-E-M. Maybe not that one. Is Captain Fisher still here? My bad. I still remember how to spell that. But we followed the example that was modeled to us, and we passed everything on the first try because we were in it together. We cared about each other, and we wanted to take care of each other. And I love this group of people. It's a special group of people, and I think recognizing early on how different we all were, and then valuing that and using that as our secret weapon against everything the instructors threw at us was the best thing ever. So we're 19, we're in it together. Ready or not, here we come.
19, in it together. One now, never quit.
Okay, our recruit school put together a video. Let me see if I can get the video screen down now. Magically, video screen down. Hey, how about that? Look at For my next act, all right, I need a chicken and Chief Eggleston to come up here. And Chief Lambert, you're on standby right there because I'm getting ready to do something electronic, which everybody knows is my Achilles heel.
Nobody knows why firemen are firemen. Not even they could tell you why. But it is time somebody tried. Firefighting is the most risky dead-end job. Nobody knows why firemen are firemen. Not even they could tell you why. But it is time somebody tried. Firefighting is the most risky of all dead-end jobs. Yet also the one where most workers are most likely to punch in early. It's hard enough to believe that, it's impossible to explain it. Fire and ice are uncomfortable separately or together. Wives hate the hours, kids love the noise, fire and ice. Any day at the firehouse, the bell from hell puts the dispatcher on the horn with a tenement tinderbox address, into bunker pants, rubber turnout coat, grab the mask and go. Minutes later, you're on site. As others run out, you go in. You need all you can carry. The 4-pound axe, the 6-foot hook, the Halligan pry bar, the ceiling concealing the smoldering has to come down, and it's one of those stubborn tin ones. In the scary dark with heat eating your ears, you are gouging out and tearing loose and pulling apart, gulping air and tasting black. Your windpipe is closing and you've lost track of which way is out. Is it really worth it? And there's that night another engine company gets there first. You see this wet-haired Wookiee hot-dogging ahead. His academy boots are still shiny. You lose him inside the crackling dark. You forget about him until your helmet warning bell says, get out. The battalion chief is calling you off. You get out. The other guy didn't. That day, we lost 2. Oh yes, firemen cry, but only briefly. The intercom barks again. This time it's a warehouse, a big fat multiple blaze, probably torched. On-site engine men draped with icicles, dragging a 3/4 pre-connect froze hose, are waiting for your big line. Laddermen can't make the building without you. Search, rescue, ventilate. Behind graffiti-fouled walls, you saved what you could, but the raging blaze that wanted to consume adjacent buildings did not, because you were there. Back at the firehouse before cleanup, you and the guys sit a spell, tired but stimulated, drinking coffee, laughing, feeling good about one another. Nobody outside your world can ever know this feeling, and you're doubting even God knows why. You're out of the shower now. Most of the grime and some of the cynicism are down the drain when you hear a strangely familiar voice saying, it is worth it. It is worth it. And you're hearing this voice, and there's nobody there but you. It's a quiet voice from nowhere saying, for salvaging things and people from flames, I have to rely on your hands.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, here we go. recruits to probationary firefighters. Congratulations all. I do want to say that we end this phase and we say ACFR is family, and I want to speak to the families for a moment. Chief Eggleston did allude that I am a family man, proud, married 31 years, 3 grown children, and 1 beautiful little 6-year-old granddaughter. And the families are just as important to us as the recruit firefighters that you send us, or the firefighters now that you send us. You are now part of our family. We are here for you 24/7, 365. You're just as important to us and part of our family as the recruits and new firefighters now that you've sent us. And I want to emphasize that. You're part of our family, and we're here for you always and forever. And thank you for being part now of our family at ACFR. January 1st, like the chief said, I will retire. 38 years in fire rescue. The time recruits, I will tell you, it goes by in the blink of an eye. I can't believe that 1983 to now, here I am. Please stop every once in a while and take a look around. Take a deep breath and enjoy being part of the greatest job in the world. It really is. One of the highlights of my career will always be being the training chief when we had Recruit School 19. I told you all, you're my only recruit school, so you're my legacy. All right? Go make me proud. I know you will. I wish you success, joy, and health, and I hope you have as much satisfaction and fun as I've had over the last 38 years. Congratulations. Recruit School 19, would you please rise? Probationary firefighters of Recruit School 19, you are now dismissed.
About face. 19. Hands together. 1 now. Never quit. Hold out.
Everyone, as our recruits exit, we don't have cake, I'm sorry. All right, yeah, bad cheat. We actually had cake this afternoon, sorry about that. But we couldn't have food inside, and I thought that when we had a cake, it'd be blowing down the street by this point with the weather. We can go outside straight through the doors. There's steps out there. Be careful, don't run right out the doors. We can take our mask off, and there's beautiful steps, and outside we can take pictures with your recruit there, and we'll hold our little gathering and reception out there. So straight through the vestibule and out to the doors, and we'll get some pictures and have a little meet and greet. Thank you.